Are you tired of your training being stuck in the past? Want to modernize your approach without straying from the methodology that started it all? Sentinel training is for you.
Do you want to improve your training and reach your fittest potential? Well, what are you waiting for? Start your free trial today.
Sentinel training is varied and fun. Keeps you on track even if you won't run. Taylor and Bryson work so hard you can tell. They even have e-books for in a hotel.
No more gimmicks, no more out-of-date and tired ideas. The year is 2025. Start training like it. Sentinel training. Evolve or get left behind.
Hello and welcome. I think Matt is teeing off.
Yeah,
Shot.
right down the middle.
Okay, that's good.
Nothing new.
What hole are you on?
10.
Okay, wow. How often do you play golf, Matt?
Not too often, and it's showing.
Okay.
You know,
Have you got a handicap, or do you not even play that much?
I don't play enough, but I usually hit like high 90s. I think that's pretty average, right?
I play off very handicapped, so I can't judge. I think I played actual golf once, and I lost like 4 or 5 balls on like hole 2, and I was just like, "Do you want me to just carry your clubs for the rest of this, or are we going to persist?" While he's driving to his next spot there, and his service will settle down a bit, then I think, congrats, you're a CrossFit Games winning coach. That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did you, when you started the season, did you see that as obviously you want him to be fighting for, podium, but it's a pretty stacked field. Did you view that as a realistic possibility, as in, I think we can win and maybe worst case podium, or do you think that way before the season starts?
I didn't think that before the season started. Like I feel like it's my sole focus was just we need to do better than last year. And obviously, like, the big pressure was like somebody that finishes 4th. Like, in my head, if he finishes anything worse than 4th, I didn't make him better. Like, that's as black as white as I chose to make it. But no, I definitely didn't see that coming.
So you started working with him like tail end of last year, sort of. You guys sort of courted each other a bit, I suppose, and then started ready to take on the world. Then, when you say got your hands on him after he was at HWPO, were you? This is a guy who finished, did well at the games last year. And then you get your hands on him. Are you like, oh, wow, we've a lot of work to do, or we've a lot of changes to make, or this isn't how I would have been doing things? And was there much of an adjustment for him, say?
No, because we pretty much started with like a blank slate. So I didn't get any programming from what he did last year or any of that.
Did you look at it nothing at all?
I didn't look at anything.
So did you start, when you started, it was just like, right, we're doing a classic off season, so it doesn't actually matter what you've been doing, and then we're just going to test and then build, basically?
No, he obviously knows himself, so he just basically came in this is what I need to work on. These are the weaknesses that I perceive. And it was basically all off of the conversations that we had. And that's how we started with programming. And then obviously as he does more cycles and we get deeper into training, then I start to learn more about oh, what you actually said is not actually a weakness. We can stop doing that. Or what you feel is happening is maybe happening for a different reason. So now we can approach it differently, But yeah, we just started with a blank slate.
So is there things then that he came to you and said, I'm really bad at this and I need to work on this, and then you watched him, or looked at his data and were like, why do you think you're not actually bad at this?
Yeah, so one of the big things is he felt like he was slow at squatting, right?
Slow.
And yes,
Okay.
and it was based on like the last event of like the thrusters and bar muscle up from the 2024 games, the finale. And I go back and watch the event, and I'm like, you're literally doing one of the fastest thrusters out of anybody else in the field. Um, Maybe the reason you didn't do well on the event is not because of like squat speed, but I also can't go in and like just like dismiss like what he's feeling, because
Yeah.
I have to like build that trust at the beginning. So for me, it was like, okay, I get what you're saying. Like, we're gonna do this cycle of like squat speed, uh, and that's pretty much like how we started, was like working on a lot of like speed and trying to get him to move faster, trying to get him more explosive, because inherently he's like very aerobic, and he doesn't, even though he played football, he doesn't have like quite like those fast twitch muscle fibers per se. So it was a
That's
lot of
maybe
like
that's why he wasn't very good at playing football.
I told him if he if he had the fast switch muscles, he'd be in the NFL. So it was a lot of like doing that type of training to improve like that side of it, like his fitness. But what ended up happening with us doing uh all the strength speed and the squat speed work is he just got stronger. But I actually don't know if he got faster.
Um, from watching you in the warm up area, I think I watched you with him at Wadapalooza and I watched you with him at the games, and then watching Matt with Dallin or with James or Fee or whoever, there doesn't seem to be as much said between you and your athletes as there is between Matt and his. Like, it's like, I think, like, is Matt more, would you describe Matt as being more mental game based? As in, like, kind of, he seems to rile the athletes up when they need it and calm them down when they need it, whereas you seem to be just the same all the time, more or less, no matter what's happening.
Uh, I don't I don't know if that's a me or Matt thing. I think that's more of a Jason versus Dallin and James
Okay.
thing. Jason doesn't talk much. Like, I'm sure you saw it back there. Like, he doesn't have much to say. Pretty much an hour, 90 minutes before the event is about to start, like you can see like things shift, and like he's not making as many jokes, and he gets like a lot more quiet. I found that the best approach is just, I bet whatever I say has to have like value, right? So I can't just like say, I can't hype him up. Like, there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to hype him up. So if I'm saying something, it's based on like coaching, based on like what I see on the event, um, something that he may not be thinking of. So that's more like my focus. So most of the time, I'm not saying anything except do Cuban raises, go hang from the bar for 20 seconds. And it's just specific to like what he needs. Like, there's not a lot of like fluff in there.
I really love the idea of every time Matt leaves the screen, he like hits a shot, it goes terribly. He's beating the shit out of the ground with his club, just like raging, and then he comes back in going, "Yeah, it went pretty well. I'm on the green now." just have to head up there.
What's Demolition Man?
Demolition Man is Wesley Snipes, is like a
Oh
bad
my,
guy, and
oh
he's got like
God.
bleach blonde hair, isn't it? He's frozen, and Sylvester Stallone's character is frozen, and then they're both like cryogenically frozen. They're both, oh, that's a really good movie. I almost watched that actually, and they both get unfrozen, and then but he's in like the future, and all the rules are different to catch the bad guy. But yeah, you actually, yeah, I would have said Cisco, but
When I was dyeing my hair, I was like, I can't get Wesley Snipes. Like, I was like, I'll take Dennis Rodman.
oh yeah, I don't. Is Dennis Rodman better? Did you get that because of Jason?
Yeah.
Was that like part of a bet or just like a support? Oh no, actually, Demolition Man is pretty bad. I'm looking at it here now. Did you get that as a fuck, man? It's really bad. Did you get that as a bet? Was it like a bet or as just a mark
No,
of support or what?
no, it was just like a support thing. I don't know if you're familiar with uh it's this high school in Texas called Katy High School. And they did this when I was in high school, actually, like way back then. But like the whole team like dyed their hair blonde until they like lost a game. So like they went like 2 or
Okay.
3 years without like losing a game, and they literally beat everybody. And their thing was everybody was gonna have their hair blonde, like the whole team, until they basically lost. So that was pretty much like the reason behind it.
Man, Cisco with putting a Q in his name is interesting. What else we got? We got, oh, this is really small. I'm not sure if it's going to be big enough. We'll try this one. So this is what you're going for, I guess. I don't know why it's so small. That's your aim.
That's better. I'll take that. That's better.
Okay. But not. You're not
Not
happy with
that.
this stuff.
Not Cisco.
Yeah, listen, you can't win them all.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you going to keep it blonde then until he wins it a second time?
No, this has to go.
Are you gonna let it? You should let it grow out, so it's just like the very edge is blonde, and then underneath is just like black or whatever. That'd be cool. You'd look
Yeah,
your hair would look like a pint of Guinness.
I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna let it grow and then like cut it so it goes away.
Before you cut it, you should bleach your facial hair as well.
No.
If you really support him, if you really love your athlete, that would be the next. Because shave it off then anyway, so it's fine.
If all of a sudden he starts performing poorly, I'm almost certain it won't be because of my hair. I would hope not.
With we'll come back to Jason in a minute. With Danielle, so you're obviously, I was just thinking about it earlier on, I was like, God, that was pretty dramatic, like the way he stopped working with Danielle was kind of fueled with drama or whatever. And then I was like, wait a minute, the way he started working with Danielle was kind of fueled with drama. When you started working with her, so Matt was obviously coaching her, and then they needed to just like stop that, like the kind of working relationship or whatever. And then you took her on. When you took her on, were you like, well, this is going to be great, like 10+ year partnership? Or were you kind of like, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen here? Like, what was your kind of mindset going into that? Notice how I wait for Matt to leave.
I mean, I don't like foreshadow like that. Like I'm usually like pretty present. So even when I started working with her, like I'm not thinking about the future. I'm just like, okay, how do I take this person and make them better? Like I'm not thinking about 5 years from now, 3 years from now,
Yeah.
10 years from now. And honestly, like from my perspective, there's no yes, there's drama, but there's no drama per se. Because
There's
it's
no
like,
animosity between you two, you mean?
yeah, because she's coming to me and she's like, I want you to be my coach. And I'm talking to her normally and I'm just going, okay, what have you been doing for training? All right, let's go from there, basically. Like I'm not talking about why you're coming to me or any of that. Like I'm purely focused on the task that I have, which is to be a coach and how do I support this athlete in person per se.
So you had no reservations at the start. You were just like, okay, cool. And then obviously you
Also don't know, like honestly don't know like a lot of like what goes on in like CrossFit until someone like points it out to me. Like a lot of stuff I'm like learning after the fact per se.
okay, so you're like an ostrich. You have your head in the sand, and then you pop up, and someone says, "Did you not hear what happened?" Like, nope, I'm going back down.
Yeah, I think I purposely do that because it's like the one of like my biggest pet peeve is like when you like go to meet someone for the first time and you already have like a preconceived notion of like who they are and like how they are based on what you've heard from somebody else, not from actually meeting them. And like you go in and like you're either cold or you're
Mhm.
like reserved about the conversation, but only because somebody else told you something about that person.
Building off the back of that, what was it like the first time you met Taylor? That was at Mayhem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What were you able to follow that rule of thumb with that meeting? or
Yeah.
was it harder to?
I mean, I wasn't really concerned about it. It's like yeah, I met him and he basically said what he had to say. I don't think we're gonna be like friends by any means, and like that's okay. Like we just go about like your day. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't have much thoughts about Taylor.
Because you seen the like what he was saying that people were sending him workouts and he was like, "This is my workout from like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever."
That I don't know about, but I'm almost certain that that is not a that's not a thing. That
Okay.
I did not, I most certainly did not have a subscription to Sentinel, and I was stealing Sentinel workouts and sending it to my athletes. That 100% did not happen.
Would you consider doing it now?
No,
It's like
no,
free
like
work. Just take them.
it doesn't even like make sense.
What
Like
do you put it down to then? Do you put it down to there's only so many movements, combinations, time domains, etc. And if you're both good coaches and good programmers, that there's probably going to be similarities. Is that the
I don't know why he says that. Um,
I think the way I heard it was that he was
I
sent
see.
like screenshots and he was like, this was on Sentinel, like this either exact or almost exact workout has been on Sentinel in the last whatever, few weeks, couple of months. That's odd. And then it happened again. And he was like, that's really weird. And then I think he just got upset about it or annoyed about it.
Yeah, I have no reason or understanding why that was happening. Because that I was definitely not on Sentinel or stealing his workouts.
Where did you think the animosity was coming from then? Did you just think this guy just doesn't like me? Like, if you didn't know that bit.
What I gathered from like talking to people, it's probably from some. I'm not allowed to say it because they've never spoken about it, so I'm not gonna air anything out. I think it had nothing to do with me at all, and I think it's like he has beef with somebody else, and I get roped in.
Okay.
That's what I took from it.
And did you like hug each other at Mayhem? Or like just did you do the Fraser Froning like distant high like handshake?
I think that made things like cordial because
Yeah.
then like going in, I was like you. I don't know like what type of energy he's on, but it made things to where like we can both be in a warm up area or in competition, and it's like we don't have to be buddies, but it's also fine.
Yeah. I think like by and large, I think that's probably a misconception that people would have about Taylor, that if you have an argument with him or something, that now that's it, you can never be in the same room again. But I think he's quite you know, maybe it's confusing when you have dealings with him to hear someone describe him as being level-headed, but when he has a need to be, he can be professional. He can be like, no, like L has a job to do, I'm not going to disturb him, or that person has a job to do, I'm not going to go near them.
But it's like so totally fine if you think I'm stealing your workouts, right, and I'm giving it to my athletes, totally fine. Call me out, whatever. It's the way he like talks to people. It's like that's like fighting energy. And then you meet him in person and it's like not the same energy. So it's like confusing. Right? Like
Yeah.
I'm never gonna talk to anybody like that online or in person because I don't want to fight anybody. I don't want to get into like confrontations. Um, but he's good at it. Like if he wants to call people out and that's his thing, it's all good.
Back to Danielle. This Matt's still not here.
Man,
He
these
has
comments are crazy. Like, yo, can y'all stop?
he
I'll tell
don't get
you
stuck in there.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Go on.
I was at TFX and I'm in a warm up area with Rafa, and this kid walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, have you tried Taylor's workout yet?" And I was like,
Oh no.
Why are you talking to me right now?"
It
And
wasn't an actual child, was it? You said this kid, it wasn't an actual child.
he was like a really young competitor. Like
Okay. But
he was
like
pretty young.
Okay.
He was an adult, but he was
Yeah,
young.
yeah,
And
okay. I
he
didn't
was
want him
like,
to be like an 8-year-old. Because I know where this story is going now.
no, he was like, sorry, man, I had to say it. I was like, you didn't have to. Like you chose to say it. But it's stuff like that where I just have to be able to like take that and like laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's like part of the intent as well. I think a lot of the time we're all kind of caricatures of ourselves. Especially when it's on Kill Taylor and stuff, like we're all kind of just caricatures of ourselves because it's just so outlandish, the stuff that's said, that you just have to detach yourself from
Yeah.
your whole reality before you say some of the stuff you say. But yeah, no, I think like anyone who's had like prolonged dealings, like you talk to people who are on the CAC with him, or you talk to people who go to his gym, or you talk to any of us, and like he'd you know give you the shirt off. Like he'd die before he'd see a cold. Like, he's that kind of guy. Like he's not. So I think, yeah, he can be a lot of bluster and hot air and stuff. But then I think he's a real sweetheart underneath it all. Um,
I'm sure he is.
you didn't do that. I take you didn't do that workout then.
I'm married.
Fair enough. We all have extracurricular activities. If we go back to Danielle then. So when it was like what, maybe 5 weeks before the games or something, the shit hit the fan essentially, and there was all this like, geez, if you're a guy that doesn't pay attention to what's happening and someone had to tell you all that, fuck me, that must have been a conversation and a half. So when you got rumblings of that kind of stuff with her and Matt, and that there was all that kind of drama online and everything was happening, are you like, let's see, I don't want to get too into it. Like, I don't want to put you in an awkward position, but like, do you go to who do you go to first? Because like Matt's your business partner, and you've worked with him, but then she's the athlete. Like, how do you handle that? Do you just wait and see, like, let's just see who comes to me first, and I'll just deal with it that way? Or are you like a proactive person?
uh, I don't want to like say anything that either of them haven't said or spoken
Yeah,
about.
I don't want like the inner workings. I just mean from your perspective, if you're sitting and you either see that online or someone tells you about it, are you like, I guess I'll just sit here and wait till the phone rings and see who it is? Or do you get up and be like, right, I need to call Matt, or I need to sit down with Danielle or whatever?
Yeah, I think in that situation, I learn about it firsthand, not online,
Okay.
thankfully. Um, and from my perspective, like my thing is always to let things like settle and let things like play out, right? Because it's like when emotions are like high, it's usually not the right time to like make decisions or try to do anything. And then I mean, Matt's my friend, so obviously, I'm there for my friend first, and then beyond that is just letting things play out how they should.
It's like when you're letting things play out, are you like, I'm just gonna do Danielle's Monday or training for Monday, but we wait to see what happens? Like, yeah, that's crazy. So then when you kind of make it sound like a bros before whatever scenario. So if Matt's your friend, and then you're in business together and you work with Brute and all the rest, and then that's obviously like a long relationship, and you hope it's going to go on for years. Whereas I guess athlete coach tends to be more transient in nature, because even if someone has, even say Justin and Adam would probably always be together, but it's still probably going to be for like maybe 12 years and then it's done. Whereas if Adam is with, what's the other guy's name? Oh my God.
Chesky.
Yeah. You'd expect that to go on for years beyond that. Do you know what I mean? So does that just sort of organically result in Danielle saying, okay, or it being decided mutually or whatever, that like, all right, Danielle is leaving Brute? Or are you like, right, I'm going to be a good friend here, Matt, I'm packing her bags or I'm exporting her programming onto this USB stick and I'm handing it to her and like waving her away, or do you wait for everything to happen around you and then you just react?
First off, Danielle was never a brute athlete.
Well, an
So
L athlete, yeah. She was a DB athlete, yeah.
she, but also it was tough, really tough position to be in. Um, I just let things play out how they should have. And I know I'm being vague, but
Yeah, no, I understand why too. Like, it's not.
yeah, uh, I just let things play out, whether that's like Matt never came to me and said, "Hey, you have to stop coaching Danielle," or anything like that. It was just talking to Danielle, talking to Matt. It was just best if we like separated ways. It was going to be a little bit too tough um to all be like intertwined in some shape or form at the games.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an awkward Uber ride if you're like.
Yeah, I mean, even like in the back, like I mean, Matt and I aren't like outside of like when we're like in the back with like our athletes, like we're together like most of the weekend. So it's and then there are times where I would like go back there and like watch Fee and um just be around. So it would have been really tough to like be able to do that for our brute athletes and also completely like separate Danielle, whereas in the past it was like one big group. It was just going to be a little bit too difficult to do that.
What's your
But
relationship with? Sorry, go on.
honestly, like the I think it worked out for everybody. Like I I'm not saying I took her as far as I could because I think there's definitely like there was some room for more work for me to do. But I think she's in like great hands with like Adam and Jesse, and Jesse has. I was already talking to Jesse about how to get Danielle stronger, so we're already having those conversations, and he was like assisting in a way, like giving me like a different perspective on like what to do with her. So it kind of made like the transition a little bit more fluid. Um, so yeah, I think this was like best case scenario for not best case scenario because all this could have been avoided, but it was the best thing that could happen based on what had already happened.
Do you take? I think we kind of spoke about this at the games, but do you take pride then when you see her doing a workout or like finishing fourth and whatever, doing a workout, and then in the same mold, are you like, God fucking damn it, her squat was so shit? Like, do you take blame for that stuff and take pride in the fact that she wins a workout, or do you completely detach yourself and be like, there's nothing to do with me? She's with Adam now, so the back squat is Jesse's fault. Any of the good stuff is my
No.
fault.
No, I can say every I don't take pride because like it's not like my victory to like claim or anything. I think always comes down to like the athletes and like what they do and
Mhm.
the work that they put in. So I'm not taking credit for like her finishing fourth by any means. Um I do take the area I take pride is I can confidently say that during her time with me, she has gotten better. And like that's the one thing that I can like hang my hat on is that I actually help her improve, which is what athletes come to coaches for. So if I did that, then I can remain confident in like my abilities and remain confident that I can help others do that as well.
You went off Instagram as well when that happened too, didn't you?
Mhm.
Why did you do that?
I was already off Instagram. So
Oh,
people
okay.
thought I like deleted my Instagram for that. The reason I deleted Instagram was uh so summers off, like my daughter doesn't go to school. So half of the day or so, like half of the day, like 3 or 4 times a week, I have like both my kids by myself. And one afternoon, I was just like fucking spending way too much time on Instagram, like not engaging, not playing. And I just kind of felt bad about that. So I was like, what is like Instagram really doing for me? I'm not taking on new clients at the moment. I'm not marketing anything, not posting anything. So I'm not really like doing anything of like value to like add to my life. I'm just sitting there just wasting time. And so for me, it was just like, all right, let me just take a pause with Instagram until after the games. Honestly, I was gonna do it beyond the games, but then he won, so I was like, all right, let me get some clout real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Let me
Uh,
just repost all this. Let me accept all these
yeah,
collabs.
exactly, exactly. But yeah,
Did you
that
do what I do when I delete the app and I just go into Chrome and log in? Anyway, I'm just
no,
like,
I
I'm not on it, but like I'm kind of on it, but I'm not on it.
no, like I deleted it. So if I log back in, it would like reactivate it. But I had it blocked everywhere. And basically what it turned into is like I just went on Reddit more.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that's better or worse, to be
But
honest.
at least Reddit is not like just like it's not as addicting as just like scrolling on your phone.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just addictive when you reply to a comment and then want to reply to more comments and then start throwing fists.
Yeah.
Um, just just popping on real quick to say Jeff Cooper is a great coach. He's a brute, isn't he? We'll watch the rest
Let's
later.
go, Jeff.
Good job. I don't know who Simon Phoenix is. Is that someone else with blonde hair? I'm guessing it's someone
Oh,
else with blonde hair. Let me see.
yeah.
Simon Phoenix. Let's see. Oh, it's the character name of Wesley Snipes in Demolition
Oh,
Man. Wow, Chase, that's too deep of a cut for us.
yeah.
With had you spoken to Adam and Jesse and stuff about Danielle then?
The last conversations we had was when we transitioned everything. And then obviously like spoke to them at the games, but like not about Danielle.
But
Just
when you what do you mean transition everything? Did you like go through the coaching that you've been doing and stuff then?
Mhm.
Okay, so it ended on good between as far as you and Danielle are concerned. It ended on good terms. Then is that accurate?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you would have been like, "Get fucked." But Adam, best of luck, buddy. Just like,
Nah, man,
or
I
forgotten
don't
to attach the PDF. Be like, see attached, but there's nothing there.
no, I don't operate like that, man. Like we don't I look at this as like a privilege. Um, so like when my time is done, my time is done. Like I'm not holding on to like feelings or
Yeah.
yeah, I was okay sharing the programming and getting them up to speed. That's like what she had been doing. So also
You,
Adam's a good dude, like always really kind and treated me well at like competition. So I had no reason
yeah.
to act like that.
Do you get self-conscious or anything when you're showing coaching notes and programming and all that kind of stuff to other people who aren't inside Brute or who aren't athletes that you're working with? Are you ever like, oh God, what if Adam Neefer thinks this is shit?
Nah. I would want to know. Like if my programming was shit, I would want somebody to tell me. So no.
Yeah.
I mean, plus it's already done. Like I already gave it to the athlete. Like there's nothing I can do now.
That's fair. What was it like at the games and did you chat to her at the games and stuff?
Yeah. I talked to her before the games, told her good luck, and then congratulated her after the games.
Were you able to say emotionally detach yourself during the games when an athlete that you've worked with for whatever 2 years, 2.5 years is competing and you're like not like trying not to care about it and not to get emotionally invested in it when you've put in all that work?
I mean, I was I was stressed with Jason. Like I didn't even have the energy or the emotions to like go around to like even like put myself in that position. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, like I wanted her to do well, but I
Not too
wasn't.
well.
Why?
If she won it, I mean, that would have been a real kick in the balls if she won the games after like leaving 5 weeks before. You'd be like, she had just stayed for those 5 weeks.
Nah. I mean, it doesn't change anything. It's not like because she won, she would like come back and everything that happened would like undo itself. So, like even that thought process is like not even worth it.
Yeah,
Because
listen, I'm a weak man, Al. That's where my brain
it
goes.
was like it was over. Like there's no going back. Like relationship done. We're on good terms. Everything's cool. And like, yeah.
Um, how do you think Matt does it then? So he had Fee, James, Ty, Dallin. He didn't seem to engage
Ties
too much with
ties with
Jason.
Jaden.
Okay,
Yeah. So he had
but like
James
as in,
and
so
Dallin.
say those four they're all based in, or they were for a long period of time based together, right? Those four.
Yeah, they're all based in Jacksonville.
Okay, so he's involved day to day. I know James who's the guy that's with James all the time? What's his name? Kind of blonde guy.
I forget.
I can't
Sorry.
remember. He's from home, I think, isn't he? He's from
Yeah, he's
where's that?
from his
Spokane or
house. Yeah.
somewhere. So they have like handlers, if you know what I mean, as well. Like even
Mm.
Fee, was it Fee's husband? Was that who was with her, or her fiance or
Yeah,
husband?
it was Al.
So how does he manage having the four of them on site and working with them all really intricately, like day to day, and working with them as a group and working with them in isolation and stuff? And then he goes to the games and he's like, all right, see you guys later on, right, Dallin? Like I just don't know how he does
Well,
that.
so Jaden is Ty's coach for one. So then, like Ty, even though Matt sees Ty every day, most of the conversations that Ty's having is with Jaden,
Okay,
right?
so if
And
Matt wants to say something to Ty, does it go through Jaden then, more so than going above his head?
if it's like a quick tip that I actually don't know how he does it, but I imagine if it's like a quick tip, he'll just say it. If it's
Yeah,
something like, "Hey, this is what I'm seeing," he'll go to Jaden, and then Jaden will implement the change.
yeah.
And then as far as like James and Dallin, I think they've been competing together, and he's been their coach since they were like teenagers. So I think they have like a really good flow, and like they know when to come to him for stuff, and like he has his flow of like going back and forth, and I'm sure he can like read body language and see like who needs him when, and who is like maybe like more settled or like calm, and like who needs more of his attention. But it's
Because
it's definitely like a balancing act.
yeah, because even like, I don't mean any disrespect to Fee by this, but saying that I think it was the last event, there was a lot on the line for Dallin going into that last event. There was certainly not as much on the line for Fee going into that last event. And I was in the warm up area, and like Dallin was, like kind of pacing like caged animal style. And then I remember thinking like, oh, where's Matt? Oh, he must be gone down because Fee's doing her workout. And then I don't know if he got back up by the time like Dallin was going down or whatever. And I was just like, again, I'm a weak man. I'm petty. I'm insecure. But if I'm Dallin there, I'm like, what the fuck is he down there for? When I could win, come second, third, fourth, fifth. Like anything could happen in this last event. And he's down watching like Heat 2 when he should be up here. Like that's where my brain went straight away because I'm petty and weak. So even that aspect of balancing of like he must be just a really, when it comes to his athletes anyway, he must be just a really high level communicator that they all feel watched and
Yeah,
valued and whatever.
I think we have to like remember like they've been doing this for like 5+ years. Like they
Yeah.
have a really good flow, and it's honestly like not the first year that honestly I think this year was actually like tamed.
Dallin, I can activate my shoulders. Yeah, I know you can, but I want him like, rubbing my back, being like, you got this, champ.
Yeah. I think this year was actually like tame for him. Like he only had 3
Yeah.
versus
That
most
first year he
years
had
he had.
like 6 or 7, wasn't it? The first year?
Yeah, like usually he's working back there. So I think they can warm them like he knows when they need him,
Yeah.
essentially.
I guess he was down at the little corral. That's probably where he needs the most. Like,
Yeah, they
no
get like
matter what
20 more
happens out there,
minutes
Dallin, I
at
love you and
the.
respect you. That's where he needs that bit. Little kiss on the cheek, pat on the butt. Off you go, champ.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's what Dallin needs, but maybe.
I mean, if he didn't get it this year, maybe that is what he needs. I can take up a consultancy role.
Who did you pick to win the games? Like, what was your like top 5?
Someone messaged me after the games and said, "Good job, you picked Jason to win in like around the semifinals time." And genuinely, my reaction was, "Did I?" It's like I have
Yeah.
no memory of that at all. I can't remember. I don't. My phone is in a different room charged, and I can't actually remember who I picked on Heat 1. But I do remember when I was doing. It feels like this every year where you're going through, the top 10 on Heat 1, and you start putting in names, and you're like, oh, but this guy. And then you go down a bit further, and you're like, fuck, this guy. Like, I can't leave him out of the podium. But you can't have 7 athletes on the podium either. So it is. I think especially that sort of top 5, top 6 from this year. That's just going to be the top 5, top 6 for the next like 2 years, unless someone from further down improves it, pretty drastically. I think Jay Crouch looked unbelievable this year, like so much better than he has, and he was always pretty decent. I think Dallin just looked like. I think he's just going to want it so badly next year. And he's already really capable and really, well-rounded and handsome and stuff. I think James, I know he's watching you, see. I think James looked really good. Like, I was really impressed with him because I think it would have been easy for him to just finish like 8th. You know what I mean? Like, and people would have been like, yeah, okay. But I think the fact that he finished on the podium was really impressive.
Why would someone think that though?
I think,
like, how do you guys decide who is gonna, like, how do you decide who you think is good and who's not, just based on like previous comps?
I think, I think for me anyway, I will gladly admit that there's a lot of recency bias for me. So if I spend time with someone, have someone on the show, if I see them do really well in an event, that's my person then until they prove me wrong. And then it's like, right, who else is out there? So like, I'm definitely not an expert or anything. It's pure like gut as far as I'm concerned. But I think that with James is an interesting case because he won last year, but a lot of people had this sort of asterisk beside his name of like, he won, but. So I think because of that, he would have, I don't think he was ever actually going to finish 8th, but I think if he had a finished 8th, people would have been like, yeah, he should be reasonably happy with that because so many people had said that there was an asterisk. I think if he had won again, it would have been like crazy. Not like unrealistic, but just it would have been nuts if he won 2 years in a row.
He won Wadapalooza.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He's never
the more years that pass,
at WFP.
The more years that pass, the less I count the off-season events as. If someone bombs at it, I count that as like, like there's a problem there. Like if someone comes like 25th at Wadapalooza, I'm like, oh shit, there's something wrong. Maybe it's going to come out that they were injured, or maybe they just fucked up their programming. If someone wins, I'm like, okay, cool. Like they're where they should be, but I'm not like, well, that person won Wadapalooza, so they're definitely. Now I've been proven wrong twice this year because Lucy Campbell won it and finished 2nd, and James won it and finished 3rd. But I do think, especially with World Fitness Project, because the way it's set up and because it's like each of the individual things doesn't really matter as much as if it was just a one event cash prize, whatever. So I discount that a lot. But yeah, I probably would.
You think they're not giving 100% at WFP?
I don't think it's that they're not giving. I think some of them probably aren't giving 100%, but I don't even think it's that. I think they're like I'd say James is giving 100%, but he's giving it over the 3 events as opposed to giving 100% on one weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, if the World Fitness Project was one event in December, athletes would peak for that one event in December, fully peak. But I think because it's like accumulative points to re-earn your score, your pro card. And I think because the fact that some of the athletes are earning more on their contract than they could earn by winning it, I think that stuff starts playing into it too, where it's like, okay, I mean, I could win this and then skip the next event and still make the final. I think that's the way some athletes are looking at it. They're like gaming the season. Whereas with the games, it's like, well, I can't skip semifinals. You know, if I skip semifinals, I'm fucked. Or for some of them, it's I can't skip Wadapalooza because I'm contractually obliged to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of different things, I think.
I don't know. I think maybe like what you're describing happens lower on the leaderboard. I think those guys are like way too competitive and like they understand like the mental edge you have and the confidence you can build at like these competitions. So it's like if Jason goes to WFP and does poorly, like now his confidence is down and that may affect like future events. So like I think all those guys, not all those guys, but most of those guys at the top, like they're trying to win every single time. And like it's not something that they can like turn on and off where it's like, oh, I already got paid for this, so whatever, you know?
Yeah. I do. It's sort of like, to me, it's like the relative intensity thing in CrossFit, though, like in the affiliate where you're going in. Like I was talking to Johnny about it today on the show earlier on. And it's like, if you have 8 hours sleep and you eat really well and you give an 8 out of 10, and the next day you have 3 hours sleep and you've eaten like shit and you give an 8 out of 10, they're two very different 8s out of 10s. Like it's still high intensity, but it's not as good. I think that's the way I view the tour events and the World Fitness Project, is like they are still trying and they're still giving their absolute best on that day, but it's not the same as their absolute best in Albany or in, you know, at Mayhem or whatever semifinal they qualified at. I think that's maybe the difference for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, but like I don't know shit about fuck, so I just like ask questions. Yeah, but I think James really impressed me finishing third. I think Dallin will really, really, really want it next year. I think he's probably going to really, really want World Fitness Project as well now. I think Justin looked much better than he has in recent years. I think Jason looked phenomenal. And I think Ricky just finally got like what he's wanted for like however long, like whatever, 8 years, 7 years. It's funny as well. I've followed Ricky at 3 competitions and I don't think he did particularly well at any of the 3 competitions. And then the one time I was like, maybe I'll follow Ricky at the games this year. I was like, no, I'll leave him alone. And he fucking finished second, the fucker. But yeah,
So
like, would you?
is it you?
It must be. Would you agree with that sentiment that unless someone improves a lot, it's going to be between those 6, 7 guys for the next 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, for sure. I think the male side of the sport is in like really good hands because there's no Matt, there's no Rich where you can like just go, that person's definitely winning. I think we thought it was Jeff where everyone basically was thinking is Jeff's to lose. And now it's like anybody can win, and that makes it so much more exciting.
Yeah, it is a lot more. It's a lot more dramatic.
Right.
I mean, you had like Jeff wore the leader's jersey, Ricky wore it, Jay wore it, Jason wore it. Did anybody else wear it? It's like 4 people.
Yeah.
I don't remember a time where 4 people wore the male. But that's almost as many competitors as it was in 2020.
Was it like that last year? Was it like James and Brent for the most part that wore it?
Yeah, I think it was 3 last year. James, Brent. Oh no, sure, Jeff was gone, wasn't he? I think James, Brent, and Ricky wore it last year.
Okay.
I think. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. With Jason then, so he's I don't know if this is accurate now, but this is my perception of him, is that he maybe cares what other people think, whether it's like analysts, fans, whoever. I think if people had come out and said he didn't deserve it, or whatever, I think he would have been hurt by it. Whereas I think James, I don't know how he shouldered it, but James was able to shoulder it for a whole year of like basically half the population saying, yeah, but it's only because, like, for basically a whole year. And the other half of the population being like, stop talking about Jesus, you fucking idiot. Like, I don't know how he managed to just get through all of that. He is crazy. Like, I don't know, resilience, or I don't know what the word is. Yeah, it's nuts. But I feel like Jason, I think he kind of needs that. Like, I think he needs people saying he can't do it again, or he's not good enough, or whatever. But that would it be accurate to say that? And would it be accurate to say that it's also a fine balance for him? Because if he gets too much of it and then has a bad World Fitness project, or hears too much of it and doesn't perform at Rogue, that it's like, oh shit, maybe I don't deserve it. Like, do you get involved with the mental side much with him?
A little. I would say Jason is probably more solid than he may like portray himself to be.
Jesus.
Um, I think he has the right mindset, as in like understanding the work that it took to like get to this point. And I don't know how he feels about like what people are saying. Like, we don't talk about that, but like as far as like the other competitors, because that's really what you have to deal with. Doesn't matter what like people say. It's what are these other competitors doing? What are they better than me at? Where do I need to improve? And like that's where the focus goes.
Is that his focus or your focus?
That's our focus. We have the same focus. We have the same hair.
Because I spoke to Shane Orr, and I was talking to him about like Tia and the athletes he's working with and stuff. And one of the things he said that I thought was interesting was that, like, now I don't know how much this is actually achievable, but he said, especially during the competition, he doesn't let them know anything about what's going on around them, like the leaderboard, who they need to beat, who they need to keep an eye on. He knows it himself. So especially in, like, say, the weightlifting, like the back squat event, or if there's a 1 rep max clean or snatch, he's looking at that specific person, but like Tia doesn't know he is. And he's telling her what to do based on what that one person is doing that he knows she needs to keep ahead of. I mean, it hasn't really been much of a problem, but you know what I mean? Maybe Jay is a better example. So he'll be feeding them information based on what that person is, but he doesn't want the athlete looking at that person. Whereas when you watch Jason, all he does, especially if he's on a machine, is he's like looking left, like looking right, trying to see what's on the monitors and stuff. Do you just feed off what he's doing? Like, it sounds like Shane controls all of that and says, this is the way we're doing it. During the season, you're not concerning yourself with what the brute athletes are doing. I am, like Shane is, but you guys are not. And then I will adjust what we're doing if I feel we need to, etc. But you guys don't need to concern yourself with that. That's my job. Whereas with you guys, it seems like you're both doing it together. Like, you're both aware of who's in second or third or whatever position. You're both aware of who needs to beat who by how much. He knew going into that final he needed to finish ahead of Ricky and I can't remember who else. Do you just react to what he needs? Like, is that him coming to you saying, this is the way I do things, and you go, cool? Or did that just organically sort of happen that that's the way you do it?
I mean, Shane is on a different level. Like, Shane can probably tell an athlete to drink dog pee and they'll probably do it. Not
You should
not
try
in a
that. Try
bad
that with
way.
Jason.
Like, he's won the games like 8 times. Like,
Yeah.
I think he has more credibility than any other coach out there to where he can like create that buy-in. I think I'm still like building trust with Jason and like all my other athletes, but you have to know the score. Like, what sport do you play that you don't know, like the strategy, what kind of plays they run, how much time is left on the clock? Like, it's sports. Like, you have to be aware of like the competition, like what they're doing. Now, it's different if like that distracts you from like doing what you need to do. And I think like that's the conversations that we have. It's like know when to like look around and know when to like just work. For example, I don't know if you noticed this on the burpee workout with the box jump overs. Not once did Jason like pick his head up and look at like where anybody was. He was just doing his burpees, doing his work because that wasn't the right time for it. And then you have like a different.
Why was it not the right time?
It's too fast. Like
As
you
in
don't
the
have
time it
time
would take him to look. That's half a rep or whatever. Somebody else can. Yeah.
That's the mental mistake of like jumping off the box versus stepping off, right?
Yeah.
It's just such a big workout that like any little mistake. So you have to know like when to like lock in on the work that you have to do, and also when to look around and like kind of play the game. And I think he enjoys like being out front and then just kind of like pacing off like other people.
Did you see Hitler's video yesterday?
About his thrusters, yeah.
What did you think of that?
I've always firmly believed, and this might be controversial, that there's judges out there. It's the judge's job to call a no rep. If the judge doesn't do it, then leave it alone. Like any other sport, there's referees. Referees miss calls all the time. Like it's not up to the. Also, those are good reps because the bar's over his midline. But yeah, those are good reps.
What did you think Hitler's motive was in posting that video?
Did you watch the video? He said those are good reps.
Oh, you watched the YouTube video too?
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you just watched that. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. So it's funny watching. It's funny watching how many people are like, "Oh, here we go," and it's like they don't realize that Hitler's about to say like, "These are fine."
Yeah.
I thought it was funny watching everyone. I'd say if there's 100 comments, 95 of them are people being like, "Oh my god, this is crazy," and then there's 2 or 3 people being like, "I don't really see if he's not pushing his head through, but I mean that's not really written down anywhere, so I don't really see what the problem is."
Now, do I think like people at gyms need to like do and replicate this? Probably not. Like, but this is the competition about who can go the fastest. So as long as you still follow the standards, those are good reps all day.
Yeah. He'll get a great stay out the comments or keep my name out the comments, whatever that video he does is. He'll get a great one out of that. So he was your only athlete at the games. Would you take on someone else at that level, like someone that's already up there, or do you like have you got a maximum capacity for how many athletes you think you can have there, like in the warm-up area? Is it like one male, one female? Is it like one only? Like how do you work that?
It was really nice to have one only, but definitely can handle more. I would say optimally it would be on the female side.
Have you got your eye on anyone?
Mm-mm.
Matt put up the other day that he's looking for someone asking something, and he did this. He was like, I assume it was 1 and 1 and not like 11. He's looking for, I guess, one male and one female.
Yeah.
Are they for him specifically or for Brute or what?
For Brute.
So one of them could be yours then, potentially.
Yeah. So it was really, really impressive what Proven was doing. Like they had a lot of athletes, had enough coaches to take care of all the athletes. So just being competitors, that was really inspiring for us. So we're trying to keep up with the Mayhems and improving, even though we're much smaller company per se.
Is that a dangerous game, do you think? How like they have large teams to handle that?
Yeah. So we're really smart about how we're doing it. So obviously like Matt's not taking on anymore. So like we're only sending these athletes to like a coach that has first the ability, right? And they have like the ability to coach a athlete at that level. And then
So who's that?
making
That's you. You will say Matt, but he's gone. We'll say he's at capacity. You, Jeff.
me, Jeff, Jaden. We have Tommy. Tommy had was coaching our team at the game, so he also has that ability. Dex,
Tommy who?
Tommy Palmatico.
Okay, that's a great second name. Dex, that's Dex Hopkins, isn't it?
Mhm.
And is there a Swiss guy or something, or a guy that lives in Switzerland or something?
Yeah, we have DC, and he lives in Switzerland, and he also has elite athletes that
But
he
he's
can
from
coach.
like Australia or somewhere, isn't he? Or Canada or Australia, yeah. So there's
Australian.
potentially 7 coaches for that level.
I'm not saying all 7 are potentially ready, but we definitely have the ability to.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we trim the fat, we've got 4. And is Emma Lawson still with Matt then?
Yes.
Okay, so if she had done the game season, that would have been 5. Well, there'd been 5 in the camp, we'll say, in the, like day to day in Jacksonville. Okay, but
But
not
she's
Jack.
still in Canada.
Okay, but she visits. All right, okay.
Yeah.
But not Jack.
Mm-mm.
Right, okay. What type of athlete would you like to coach? Like, would you like to coach someone who is an up and comer and like maybe was at the like rookie year or something and they're, you know, whatever, making good progress? Would you like to coach someone who's been around the block and maybe has like 3, maybe 4 years left? Would you like to coach someone like what type of person are you looking for?
Uh, for one, I'm like things happen organically. Like hardly ever have I like try to like seek like an athlete out and then like worked out. It's usually like things happen like very organically. So I'm not like actively like out there like seeking per se. Um but I think the potential of like coaching like a young up and comer that potentially has like a really high potential and can like get to a spot where they can podium at the games, that would be cool. Um but my just like my competitive side as like a coach is like maybe succeeding where someone or others haven't succeeded before. So someone that's been at the games and maybe hasn't been able to like break into the top 10
Yeah.
or has been in the top 10, hasn't been able to get on the podium. I think that would be like really cool, like something to do. Um, that would kind of like showcase my skills as a coach.
How many athletes do you work with now? Like total?
I'm currently at my lowest. I'm at 37.
That's a high lowest. What's your highest ever?
57.
Good God. Are they all, they're not
Yeah,
all individually programmed for though, are they?
they are.
What?
But they're not all athletes,
They're not at like
right?
Jason's volume level. Okay. So
I would
one could be
say
just like one workout a day. Okay,
I
right.
would say I probably have 5 or 6 like athletes that are like that are trying to go to like semifinals and trying to like break into the games, and then maybe like a few like another 5 or 6 like quarterfinals, and then the rest are just like one workout a day, and they're just trying to get fitter, stronger, look better,
Yeah.
like just want to maximize their potential.
And do you group the, say, the semi quarterfinals levels athletes? Do you group then as like, okay, these 4 are really good in this area of strength, but really poor in this area of strength? So I'll group those together and kind of massage the workouts, but they're going to look similar. Or like, is it literally like, right, person A blank page, person B blank page? God damn.
Yeah, for the everyday people, it can look kind of like similar because it's like you need to get better at pull-ups. So like it's really simple. If you want to get better at pull-ups, either do banded pull-ups or dumbbell rows. Like it's a lot of like bodybuilding. So those progressions are a lot easier to write. For the elite athletes, it's completely different because there's different things that they need to work on. It also depends on like what weaknesses they have. Obviously, like if somebody needs to improve like muscle up capacity, I might use the same progressions for like 2 athletes at the same time. but most of the time, like they all have like completely different profile that I need to program for.
Interesting. So when you get to the, you think then if you get to the top level, it's like 2 is like anything beyond 2 for you would be this is difficult.
Yeah, like it was so nice just having Jason back there. Like, and I could just focus on that and not much else. I've had it to I've been at the games before where I've had like 12 people that I was responsible for. And that was when like all the games were together. So
Oh, age
I
groups
would
and yeah.
I would have a team, I'd have this masters in this division, this masters in that. And it was a lot of like running around. So
Yeah,
I'm
your
glad they actually like
steps are pretty
separated it.
high.
Yeah.
Like running back and forth.
Yeah.
And you're still working with, are you still coaching Kelsey then? She's doing grid.
Hmm.
You're still
Yeah.
coaching her. Okay.
That's my girl.
Do you have to change much for that? Or is it just kind of like more weird
I
shit?
actually I don't know how to program for grid if I'm being honest. So most of the time she just kind of tells me what she needs to do and like the practice stuff. I just know that she needs to be strong, explosive, and fast. So that's kind of like what I program for.
Yeah, she's cool. When I was in Philadelphia and I messaged her asking if there's any good coffee shops, and she sent me like 4 essays back about different places I need to go. She's very giving with her time.
Yeah.
Um,
Kelsey's awesome.
yeah. Okay, what's the story with the rest of the season then with Jason? So Rogue, World Fitness Project, Rogue, like World
There's
Fitness
Tier
Project again, I
Wadapalooza,
guess.
that's team,
Okay.
and then World Fitness Project in Denmark, and then CrossFit season.
So will he have an off season? How will you do that? That's a lot between now and Christmas, say.
Uh, the off season, I imagine will either have to come after the final WFE, which then it just depending on like how the season is structured might put you in a bad spot. But I honestly think after Tier Wadapalooza, actually after like this WFP, like he'll have maybe like a little more time off. But like he's not doing a ton right now anyway. Going
Are
into
you
WFP.
programming from now, or are you just letting him do like just do whatever you want, just move once a day kind of thing? Or are you still
No,
like
I'm programming.
okay?
Yeah.
And that when you say time off, so say after World Fitness Project, will you do that then, or will you still send him something every day to do?
I'm gonna send him stuff to do every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so the plan is then he'll have World Fitness Project at Christmas and then Christmas at home or whatever. And then like whatever, New Year's Eve, you're sending him his off season, which will run up as far as semifinals, I guess.
Uh no, so we don't actually like the off season, like to me, off season just means that like you're training less, you're maybe not doing like double sessions yet, like you're going to the gym once a day. As far as like the contractions that you're doing in the gym, they're a little bit like more, they're like slower contractions, like you're laying like a foundation for all the dynamic work you're gonna do once you like get closer to like semifinals and like games training. So like that actually like is gonna start after this WFP, where he's only gonna be in the gym once a day, and he's gonna have like a lot of like that foundation building. And then we'll kind of like ramp up going into Rogue, maintain through WFP, and then based on like how he's feeling, we'll probably slow down after the last WFP.
Interesting. Um, okay, I have a video I want to play, and then I have one more question for you,
So
if that's okay. I think I need to move us though. If I do this and then do this. They're saying no audio. Hang on.
Hey,
They're saying no audio. Let me see if I can figure this out. What's the best way to do this? Why is that not working with audio, but the other one did? Oh, wait. I'll do this. Hang on. Bear with. Let me know if this has audio.
One thing that's like really powerful for me
oh, there you go.
is going through what I went through in the Navy. Really, it was on my last deployment in Yemen in 2022. And there was a guy that I deployed with every single time up until then. And he would always have some friends from back home. They would send him out this jerky, right? And during that deployment, I saw the writing on the wall with my involvement with the Navy, and I anticipated me, getting out soon thereafter, and got really into business. And the first thing that I had right there, kind of the only thing, was this jerky. And I was like, man, that's like a pretty low lift. I'll just go make some jerky. As soon as I got home, filed for the business, and then bought this little, it's right over there, this little kitchen dehydrator. I was like, all right, here we go. And I loaded up some meat, cut it up, seasoned it. I didn't know anything, so I just cooked it as hot as the machine would go for as long as it would go. And it came out and it was horrible. I think I iterated like twice. It was all my own innovation, so to speak, with it. I didn't look at any YouTube videos or anything else on how to make a product. And I think by a happy accident, I just discovered the simplicity of what we have here for High Ground today.
Beef, garlic salt, and red pepper flakes. That's all we throw onto this thing. It's all you need. Other brands will put 19 ingredients in there, including nitrates and nitrites. Some of them, not all of them. Don't sue me, bro. But we definitely do not, because it's not necessary.
The beef chip, it's kind of like its own subcategory. And that's when we really identified the CrossFit fitness community and, the outdoor enthusiast community as our ideal market as to where we are today with, the better for you, 3 ingredients, no BS, power nutrition for the customer. So that's what inspired us to make this product, cutting through the noise and giving the customers what they want. A clean label with the most protein dense nutrient snack that you can get on the market.
Yeah. If anyone wants to buy that, they can use HG15 to save 15%. Yeah, a ribeye from Root Chris is cheaper, and then you have to cook it, and then you have a steak, whereas this is a snack in a bag that you bring with you. So yeah, that's like saying a potato is cheaper than a bag of chips. Yep, sure is. This question, have we addressed a hot/crazy scale? I know what this question is about, but I'm going to pretend that I think it's like, as hot as you are, El, do you find yourself being crazy, or are you pretty level-headed? That's not the last question I wanted to ask you. The last question I want to ask you is from someone who has a genuine coaching question. What's the best way to increase squat speed for someone with long femurs?
I don't know if like your squat speed is directly affected by your femurs. I would say the best way to improve like just your squat mechanics is improve like your ankle mobility, and that's the only way you can kind of like keep yourself stacked when you're squatting. You can widen your stance. That would probably shorten your range of motion a little bit. And I would say like if you're looking for like practical advice, like look into like doing like bands, a lot of chain work, and then also doing a lot of like depth drops and like plyometrics. Like that's probably the best way to improve just your speed in general.
You mean bands on the end of the bar,
Yeah,
forcing you to
like
put? Okay, yeah.
yeah, just because you have less resistance at the bottom, so you can like learn to accelerate, and then the resistance increases the closer you get to lockout.
I just assumed that was people doing that to look cool on Instagram. Do you think the games is a sport or a test?
I think of it like a sport. Like you have a referee, you have scoring, you have standards that people have to stick to. Like I don't know what a test is. What's a test?
As in testing where you are with regards to fitness when it comes to methodology and the...
For me to consider it a test, I would need more Like I think of like more of like a like controlled like lab setting where like let's see who's the strongest, and you
So
have like
everybody
this
uses
controlled
the same bar, the same room, the same whatever.
exactly.
Yeah, okay. So the only thing
Everybody
you
uses
change is the athlete.
exactly.
Okay, I follow. This is a good question. Do you think Tia will come last in the men's field?
With the men's weight, is she just competing in the men's division?
Yeah, I
100%
think
yes. Like without a doubt.
100% yes.
With the men's weight, she can't clean the last bar.
Yeah, but I think she would have ran faster in the first event.
Somebody has to run the points. I can't think of all the events. With the men's standards, I think maybe she does finish. Like she has to carry the yoke, the 600-pound yoke.
Was that
Like,
you that was beside me? No, who was beside me when I did that? Was it Harry Lightfoot? There was a yoke in the warm-up area. And I was like, do you reckon I'll be able to move that? And Harry was like, yeah, you just need to, he's like, that's set up for my height. So it'll be a small bit short for you, but you just need, he was like, what did he say? Don't let your hips go backwards. He was like, just go down and then just like lift it up or whatever. And I was like, okay. And I was like, shit, this would be cool if I could lift this. Didn't even fucking budge. I went underneath and I was like, yeah.
was it an empty yoke or did it have weights on it?
No, there was weights on it. There was,
Okay.
I think there was maybe 4 blue plates or something. I'm not actually sure.
Oh
What it was.
yeah.
Like one on each
Okay.
corner or whatever. But yeah, I was like to Harry.
Tears the goat. No
Yeah.
disrespect whatsoever, but she's getting spanked if she's doing the same workouts as the dudes. Like,
Does that mean then that even if she wins it, whatever 8 times, is she still behind Matt and Rich then?
no, she's the greatest ever. She can be the greatest ever without having to compete against men.
Okay.
You disagree?
No, I'm just thinking about. I think it's amazing. I think she's amazing. I'm just thinking about the sentence that you just said. She's the greatest ever, but doesn't have to compete against the men. I'm like, can that sentence be true? Is what I'm thinking about. Do you know what I mean? Like, if she would have, so she won the games this year, and hypothetically, if she competed in the men's field, she would have. You just said she would have gotten spanked if she competed in the men's field. So then it's like, are all of the men better than her then that were there this year? Do you know what I mean? If you continue that chain of logic, and then if they are all better, was Matt better?
That's with the logic that like men and women are the same and we have the same genetics and
Yeah, that's fair.
like we're not it's not the same. Like she is probably one of the greatest female athletes of all time, and it sucks that she does CrossFit, so she probably won't get the same recognition as like the Serenas of the world. But women can compete against men. Like I think maybe like a sport like maybe golf or yeah, even then like driving it's probably not the same. Maybe pool, like something like
Yeah, I
that.
remember, was it Serena said something like, I can't remember. She said something in an interview once where she was like, I would get my ass handed to me if I went out in the men's court. Like, it's just factual. Yeah, I think she's.
Did you see recently they had the Swiss women's national team and they played against like 15-year-old like boys and they lost like 5-0 or something like that.
In soccer?
In soccer, yeah.
You follow soccer, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you follow?
Man United.
Wow, okay. Well, it was nice having you on, Al. You had a pretty rough year last year then.
Yeah.
I don't imagine you're in for a much better time of it this year, to be honest, either.
Probably not. It's gonna be a rough couple of years.
You should try and work in a game when you're at Rogue or when you're at, like, there should be, you probably have to stay an extra week. That's the only issue.
Yeah, I'll probably try to go to a game when I'm at Rogue. We'll see.
Or we're a fitness project, Copenhagen, maybe a Champions League, or sorry, Europe. Oh no, wait, are you in anything? Are you in any European competition this year? I can't even track. Listen, thanks. I really do appreciate you coming on. It's been great. Thanks to Matt, who was on for like maybe 45 seconds at the start. And then I'm assuming his golf game just went to shit completely. And he's just like, fuck this, I'm out. And just like left.
I think it was probably like the service.
Yeah, we'll blame the service. It's either going to be the service or his game fell apart and he was embarrassed in front of his friends. We appreciate him trying to make it work, though. Thanks for coming on. Congratulations with everything with Jason. Every success in the future, etc. Good luck with World Fitness Project and Rogue and everything else that you got set up for him. Thanks everybody for watching. Go to highgroundchips.com. and buy a bag of chips, and you can use HG15. You save 15%. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Thanks for the comments. Thanks, Al.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Appreciate you.
You're